exactly. I also think it was a big thing where, like, when you're looking at some of the other competitors, he's very favored. Like, I think his two closest head-to-heads are probably between Sinister and Hayes, which are both toughing it out through losers. So I think there's also the mentality of having that set to burn. But enough about the prior set. We're actually going straight into this next set between Lipden and Glutamate, and this is another matchup where I just kind of look at it and like, how do you play like Wario? Because like his entire game plan is be in your face, and that's where Mr. Game & Watch wants it. It's like, I was like, oh cool, you press my button, upbeat. You're trying to air me, nair. You can even just do like a backspace forward tilt. It just has just enough range where it's like you can almost do like Lucina spacing forward tilt.
For sure. Coming into this set, though, it is really going to be the ingenuity, I think, of Lipden that's going to be able to save him, especially him being able to take stocks without waft. Saving the waft for a crucial moment is exactly what a Wario wants to do in a setup, in a matchup such as this one, especially against a lighter character such as Mr. Game & Watch. Unfortunately, though, it is going to be Glutamate who takes the very first stock and now leaving Lipden at a deficit.
Yeah, I like how Lipden is starting to play a little bit more around like max space forward air and play slightly more grounded. Even though as a character as a Wario, his strength is in his jump and his airspeed. You still have those grounded mix-ups, like, boost grab. You have like a short hop command grab, as well as even just a grounded command grab, and max space down tilt and forward tilt are rather safe on shield. But I think like just it's gonna be as you said, ingenuity. Mixing it up and trying to play around those corners and make him work for those upbeats out of shield. That's the best you can do as Wario.
Ooh, yeah, as you just said that, yet another stock going to Glutamate. The F-tilt coming out from Lipden at ledge, going for the strong dare in order to try to get some sort of advantage state. Coming back to the center of the stage, it's going to be the chef that comes out from Glutamate, trying to go for the nair onto the shield, and it's actually going to be Lipden's nair who comes out on top. These two just sort of playing around this upper platform, attempting to get in on each other.
Yeah, and that's an interesting situation that we just witnessed, because actually the knowledge check of knowing that until Nair gets its, like, I think third or fourth hit where it becomes that big, like, Great Wall of China, like, you're not bypassing this, that the fact that Wario can actually win the Nair-to-Nair interaction and get kind of underneath it, it might be something for Lipden to try to play around, but as we're seeing, as Glutamate is actually waiting that last hit in Nair, he kind of realized, like, okay, I can't do an early Nair, I have to rely on my late Nairs.
For sure, and there's going to be a stock taken for Lipden, and then just trying to come back and then going right over the bacon coming out from Glutamate. Not going to get the nair just yet, but Lipden coming back in around Glutamate. Underneath this upper platform, going to nair above the down smash from Glutamate. The up B coming out just in time to save him. Not able to get a waft, but you can tell that Lipden is looking for something that does not require him to use his waft. Against a lighter character, he wants something much bigger. Getting the back air in order to send Glutamate to the other side of the stage. Glutamate just sort of up smashing in place. Not able to get something off of it just yet, but the nair coming out from him and actually going to send Lipden to the other side of the stage, air dodging away from the up airs, able to get the grab and now putting on even more damage. Glutamate coming to the other side of the stage, getting yet another up B, coming down to the other. Oh, but the down smash is not going to be what takes the stock just yet. Lipden, though, at full rage on the board, coming back in, and it's actually going to be the up smash from Glutamate that seals out game number 1.
Yeah, Lipden was really starting to work on a formula that I think was a very intelligent way of breaking down Game & Watch. Game & Watch's core strength is when you play into him. He doesn't really like when you intercept him or you force him to play into you. So we were seeing a lot of, like, ambiguous drifts, even just neutral drift, like jump, short hop up, short hop down. And using max space on back air to try to get Glutamate to take the first step forward. And we also saw that with how he's playing on platforms. He was doing a lot more weights, and he was really like hard conditioning the air dodge in so you can get something. But that's a problem with having that much rage versus a floaty, is that if you're not quite at like golden ticket %, it can be really hard to actually, even if you make the read, get the max punish off.
For sure, and you can see going into this game number 2, it seems to be something that Lipden is hyper aware of. Coming into this damage, edge for the combo, not able to get the up B, however, going to get up aired a little bit by Glutamate. Coming in with the Nair off stage, Lipden trying to find something away, getting back in, but not enough to avoid all the damage. The fire coming out from Glutamate as Lipden just air dodging to the upper platform, able to get an up B for himself as Glutamate recovers on the other side, getting the back air in order to send Glutamate even farther away. And now both of them going back to center stage. The up air is coming out from the up B from Glutamate, able to tack on even more damage to his to a pretty close game stock number 1 so far.
Yeah, that's another unfortunate thing about this matchup is that, like, even though you can get, like, beautiful cross-ups that are perfectly spaced, because a cross-up requires you to be so close to your opponent, and up B is, like, a very close range option, it's really a matchup that you can only really play towards your space. When you go for those cross-ups that normally would be so effective versus the rest of the cast, he's just one of the rare characters that can really use and abuse that specific mix-up. But as we're seeing right now, the big thing is that Lipden is really willing to use the maximum of his airtime, the maximum of his speed, in order to minimize any sort of risk or the amount of interaction time he's having with Game & Watch on his turns.
Yeah, and that was actually a beautiful stock because the misdirection of the bike really came out in Lipden's favor as he was able to just go through the bike in order to get the stock. So absolutely wonderful stuff from him, and you know that he is going to try to take this lead and run with it as much as possible, especially full rage and the waft against the lightness of Glutamate, going to take that stock in quick succession. He is up 3 stocks to his 1.
And that's a tie turner of a waft, because most of the time you expect to get the... Okay, wow. That was some DI. But most of the time you expect the upper waft to, get a rising hitbox, like, and then they have to do the BDB patented up B chase. But that's the major thing, is that, like, if you can get, like, that stock like that, now it's, like, for the first time you have all this percent to play with, and you can really go for these trades, and that's because of Game & Watch's, like, low weight, despite the fact that he has that damage and a decent bit of kill power. You can put him in positions where he actually is not taking trades as well as he should be.
Absolutely, but you could see that Glutamate was still able to put a pretty significant amount of damage onto Lipden and forcing him to really struggle to land. And as you could see there, the conditioning, forcing him to air dodge and then perfectly timing the down smash onto the upper platform in order to catch another stock from Lipden.
Yeah, Glutamate's doing some counter adaptation. He's realizing that, like, how he was being conditioned by Lipden at the beginning of the stock, and now he's re-engaging with the game of chicken, and it seems like he's doing much better for him as now he's getting Lipden to constantly, like, flip my coin. It's like, are you gonna air dodge here? You can do a directional air dodge, an up B, or am I just gonna, up air and poke at you and take my 7%, take my 11%, until you're, now 85, and start really have to worrying about my plethora of kill moves.
For sure, and you could see Lipden sort of running out of options, it seems, as he's looking for something against Glutamate. Glutamate just sort of chipping away slowly at his damage as he opts to run away for a little bit. Coming around to the center of the stage, Lipden finding himself underneath of Glutamate and trying to get something. The fire and the down air actually coming out from Glutamate as he's able to rack on some of the damage. The up smash at the upper platform, not able to get the bucket with the bike, unfortunately. Just trying to jump around to this side with the nair, and then the bike is gone now. Lipden rolling away, and in order to try to establish some more spacing, Glutamate coming out with some more bombs, and then Lipden just sitting in shield underneath the up smash coming out from Glutamate yet again, and the waft from Lipden not going to connect at all, and utilizing the bike in order to try to get some damage, trying to get rid of the bike with the down smash, but it is actually going to be the Wario who closes out game number 2. We are going to get a third game here. Lipden going to clutch out that spinal stock versus Glutamate.
Yeah, the desperation waft there makes a lot of sense because you're in a position where there's still 2 minutes on the clock and you're at round 110. So you can take at least one of Game & Watch's, like, mid-tier. You can't take a smash attack. You're probably, like, especially like a sweet spot, you might be able to take a sour spot, like, from, just the most sour of his down smash or the most sour of his forward smash. But you're at a position where it's like, all right, I have to put either get a shield poke if I'm really lucky, or a shield break if I'm a little less lucky, still in a good position. But even if you burn that waft, you might have another minute to play around with where you can get a half waft setup that actually work, whereas a full waft, when you have Mr. Game at like around 70 and you have a fair bit of like rage, you're not really gonna quite get those nice juicy waft combos you see even like on other midweights.
Absolutely, and going into this game number 3, that is something that is going to be pertinent information at the front of both of these players' minds. The up airs coming out from Lipden as he's able to sort of extend, or rather from Glutamate, as he's able to extend these combos against Lipden. Lipden air dodging to this second platform, and then coming back to the center of the stage, the fire coming out from Glutamate as he's able to sort of extend it with the, oh, okay, yet another air dodge, but unfortunately not close enough in order to avoid yet another aerial from Glutamate. Coming back to the center of the stage and actually going to be able to contest the down smash with his get up attack. Lipden coming to air dodge to the upper platform, going to get grabbed by Glutamate. Up throw, not going to kill just yet at 162%. Full rage is on the board and it's not gone just yet.
Yeah, the biggest thing also is Lipton's has great utilization of his neutral air dodge, where rather than trying to trying to true fast hold air dodge, trying to teleport back in the stage, he's doing a more slow fall, and it lets him be so ambiguous because of Wario's great air acceleration and deceleration stats. Meaning that like even when he's getting clipped, he's only been getting clipped by a multi-hit and not by the full hit of the move, which is allowing him to actually live with this higher percent.
Absolutely, that's not going to be the stock just yet for Lipden, but it looks like he is looking for these kill moves. Going to get the grab into the F throw, actually, and that's going to be the end of Glutamate's first stock. Full rage on the board for Lipden. Going to get sent into the up throw. It's not enough just yet, and able to avoid the up airs. He is able to land without taking any sort of damage whatsoever. Coming back to the bottom of the stage, going to go for some nairs, and then the air dodge, still not able to avoid yet another nair. Glutamate just finding himself at the mercy of this combo from Lipden, able to follow up with the waft and take another stock in quick succession.
And the full rage actually helps out there because you get the slight bit of, because you're doing more damage and knockback, you get the slight extra bit of hit stun. And normally the upper, at low percent, you'd have to get to a higher percent. Even then, it's a lot easier to DI. But because you're at low percent, you're less likely to be into tumble, meaning you can't DI. So it actually makes it by having that rage at a very specific margin, it makes the upper waft a lot more consistent and reliable, which is a great way to play to your outs as Lipden.
Absolutely, you can see that up throw from Glutamate, not enough to kill just yet, even at max, even past 200%. However, that is going to be the end of Lipden's first stock, but putting up a respectable 2 stocks, pretty good. Getting the up B out of the shield, now coming back into the center of the stage. The nairs coming out from Lipden, not from Lipden, from Glutamate, but another up B from Lipden, able to sort of tack on some more damage. The judge coming out with a 3, not enough to take too much damage just yet. Lipden air dodging to the center of the stage and actually going to get caught by the grab from Glutamate. Being sent to the other side, the up smash coming out, not going to connect from Glutamate, and then coming back in with a down smash, actually able to predict Lipden jumping to the upper platform and catching him with it. Getting the fire into the up air, Lipden just sort of forced to land and actually air dodging around the down smash that time.
Yeah, this is the part where it kind of starts devolving into a game of cat and mouse, because Lipton's willing to take the up airs as long as they don't lead to a fateful frame trap. But another thing is that like Glutamate really has to maximize every position that Lipden, because even with all of Wario's air speed, his great neutral air dodge, as well as his side Bs, eventually he does have to land. He's not a character like Pit or even Mr. Game Watch himself, who can kind of really linger, or even Rob, who can really linger in that air for an extended period of time and avoid any juggle situation.
For sure, and you can see that Glutamate absolutely knows that. It is going to go for the down smash berry into the F smash, not enough to take the stock just yet. Air dodge, I love the drift air dodge coming out from Lipden in order to avoid the bacon coming out from Lipden, or from Glutamate rather. Not going to avoid it a second time, but utilizing the bite to recover, going to get hit with the up airs. Not getting the waft, but able to avoid the down smash. Not exactly what he was looking for, but Lipden still trying to find something to go for him Glutamate coming out from under the stage, able to get the grab with the bike still out, getting the bomb, and then coming back in with the fire, not able to get some conversion off of it just yet, though. Lipden just trying to find his opening as these two are running underneath these two upper platforms, not getting the up smash, but being able to send Lipden off stage. This could be a huge boon for Glutamate.
Yeah, Glutamate actually often to play around like fair and these multi-hits. He does end up taking it, but he's putting himself in a risky position where Lipkin can actually start playing around trading the multi-hits and just taking the safer but not the advantage starting hits on shield, to try to weasel his way back in, because you have max rage, you're a heavyweight versus a character who, if he doesn't hit his few key moves, he can actually kind of have some arthritis. The Glutamate, did finally get him with that double fair ledge trap. We did see that a couple times going throughout, the set. But that's just a big thing that you really have to watch out playing a floaty, is that like when they have all that rage, is what's your safest button, and you just gotta almost start going for trades. They're at 247.